There's been some new details surrounding Better Call Saul Season 6 Part 2, including character trailers and some first reactions to Episode 8, which has been shown early. The premiere of the second part was shown at the Tribeca Film Festival, and multiple viewers who were there have shared their non-spoiler thoughts on the type of episode we're going to be getting. And the new trailers for Kim Wexler and Lalo Salamanca signal that the final stretch of episodes for this fantastic show will be more tense than we could ever predict. I'm going to be discussing all the details from these new reactions and trailers as we get closer to the release of Season 6 Part 2 on July the 11th. But before I get into it, if you want to see more videos on the final season of Better Call Saul, then don't forget to support this upload by giving it a like rating, subscribing to the channel, and turning on your notifications. Also, feel free to check me out on Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, and Instagram at Cortex Videos, which is all linked in the description below. But without further ado, let's dive into the reactions and new trailers for Better Call Saul Season 6 Part 2. So starting with the early reactions to Better Call Saul Season 6 Episode 8, we get a flurry of spoiler-free impressions out of the premiere, which was shown at the Tribeca Film Festival. Some of the reactions on Twitter came from a mixture of critics, entertainment insiders, and also fans of the show who made it to the event. Pretty much all of these who aren't critics also shared images and proof of them being at the event, which included a lot of the cast and crew in attendance. So what did they say, and what are the general impressions for this next episode? Well, starting with film critic Matt Neglia, he said in his review that Better Call Saul's mid-season premiere wastes no time as it stuns with one of its most intense and best episodes yet. Vince Gilligan's filmmaking is impeccable, deploying new cinematic techniques the show hasn't seen before. Striking and unpredictably shocking, coming July 11th. Viewer The Atom Chode also said, Better Call Saul mid-season premiere review, dark, crazy, Vince Gilligan does it again. This isn't just another spin-off, it's one of the best episodes in TV history. Great emotion and action too, a fitting end to Saul's journey while also setting up what's next. Rachel Tolleson also stated, no one is going to be prepared for the mid-season premiere of Better Call Saul. Viewer Drake added, I just got to see the premiere of the last half season of Better Call Saul at the Tribeca Film Festival, and wow, if this is how the last run of episodes is starting, I don't know if I'm ready for how it all ends. Cheryl Wang also wrote, Better Call Saul mid-season premiere at Tribeca, the way this show is written and shot is always cinematic, so there's no better experience than finally watching it on a big screen, not to mention the fantastic creators, writers and cast are here too. Little Jungo put, when I say that Better Call Saul is one of the greatest shows on TV, if not the greatest show, I meant it. That mid-season premiere has made me sicker than any other show on television or cinema. Jaw-dropping, leg-bumping and heart-stopping. And finally, Slash Film wrote a whole article on their thoughts from the episode, stating that Better Call Saul does not disappoint. It remains one of the most cinematically satisfying shows on TV, with Gilligan even throwing in a few visual tricks and flares that serve to ramp up the tension even more. But with a mid-season finale this intense, I can only imagine that things are going to get darker and more troubling from here. In the article, they also add that characters clash in satisfying and terrifying ways, once again praising Vince Gilligan for the directing and Gordon Smith for the writing. I mean, we knew that with these two working together that we would be in for a ride, but it seems that none of us are prepared for what's in store in episode 8. And this is only one of 2 episodes being directed by Gilligan in the final 6 left. He apparently directs the penultimate episode too, so there's plenty of turns left in the pipeline. There are also some reactions on Reddit following this screening, but some had spoilers in the comments, so I didn't want to discuss those ones here too. But the main takeaway is that most of them seem to be in line with what the reactions here have also said. So it looks like we're in for a wild ride with episode 8, and I really can't wait to see what goes down. It's still 3 weeks away, and I must say the wait is killing me to see what's in store. But at least by the looks of it, we won't be let down with what the cast and crew are putting to screen. The cast who were at the event also described the second half of season 6 in different ways, and Ray Seahorn said, "I'm hoping that the viewer will find it as thoughtful and provocative and intelligent as I did." And Bob Odenkirk further teased a new character being introduced and that they will be played by a well-known actor too. He said, "There's a character coming along, a new character, a scenario that's so cool, and it's played by one of the great actors of our day." So no idea who that new character is, but it is pretty awesome to hear that we've potentially got someone coming in, and Bob is excited about the scenario surrounding that figure. Maybe it's someone in the Gene timeline, like with how they used Walter's confrontation with Jack at the end of Breaking Bad. What we can take away from this is that the crew, the cast, and all of the people who've seen the first episode are super excited for us all to get the chance to see it come next month. But moving on now to the short character trailers that AMC have released for Season 6 Part 2, and we get those surrounding Kim Wexler and Lalo Salamanca. The Kim Wexler one was released a few days ago, and it was a short teaser that highlights Kim Wexler's corruption with an image of a blood-splattered candle. The Take the Oath trailer focused on the constant image of the candle from episode 7, with Kim reciting the attorney's oath as a voiceover. When she finishes reading the oath, the flame flickers as if it's being blown out, and it serves to indicate that many of these legal vows have been broken by her and Jimmy during the Howard scam. On another side, it could also be hinting at Kim's fate, whether that be her death or the end of her legal career. What it does show is that whatever route they do take with her character, that it won't be a positive one in the current future state of things. Of course, many fans have been concerned about the character's fate when considering the brutal nature of Breaking Bad's world, and also the fact that she never appears in that series. And with both Nacho and Howard already biting the dust, it makes Kim dying all the bigger of possibilities. Her fate will of course be revealed in the next 6 episodes, and actress Ray Seahorn also added to that tension in her interview with Variety last week, saying that maybe the question isn't whether Kim dies, but what happens if she doesn't. Death is not the only tragic end. Like other viewers, I've been saying for a while that I think Kim's fate doesn't have to be a gruesome death, and I think the more appropriate option would be to focus on the end of her career and maybe her going to prison in the fallout. And I think the Gene timeline will be linked to what Jimmy could do to help Kim after all of that goes down. Of course, they might take the route of killing her or another unexpected route instead, but I just think this late in the game, with everyone talking about her dying, that would be way too predictable. What we do know is that something bad is going to happen to her character, and it will result in her not being around during Breaking Bad and Jimmy being the person he is in that show. There's a lot to answer in the 6 remaining episodes, but the showrunners have done a great job with everything so far, so I trust them when it comes to the fate of Kim. We'll have to see, but this trailer and the recent interviews with Ray Seahorn do suggest more and more that her end will be more focused on the destruction of her career and status rather than in death like Nacho and Howard. And based on the reactions on Reddit to episode 8, it seems like her destination will be a big focal point in the episode regarding all of the tension surrounding Lalo killing Howard back in episode 7. And speaking of Lalo Salamanca, we did also get a new brief trailer for his character in a similar way to what we had with Kim. The focus shifts in that teaser to the deadly cat and mouse game between Lalo, Gus and Mike. Of course, Lalo has a lead on Gus Fring's secret meth lab, but Mike has a read on Lalo due to the mistake he made. And now that Lalo has re-entered Jimmy and Kim's lives in a very big way, with ending Howard's life, a final standoff between them all is well on the way too. The footage in the teaser is of the lights going out in the meth lab, with Lalo saying, "Now, what to do with you?" We don't know who he's talking to, but I'm guessing it would either be to Jimmy in his apartment following the shocking death of Howard, or to one of Gus Fring's men. My guess would be the first option, but as I said, I think this is all coming down to the standoff between Lalo, Gus and Mike. My theory, and some others who've talked on Reddit boards, have predicted that Lalo will be killed in the meth lab and buried under the floor, in turn explaining the bond between Gus and Mike in Breaking Bad, and also allowing for Lalo's buried body being a sort of legend for the work that eventually goes on there. How creepy would it be knowing that Lalo is literally buried under the feet of Walt and Jesse as they cook for Gus in the Superlab? We know that Gus left the gun in the lab a few episodes ago, so even he suspects that it will all end there. And now with AMC releasing this teaser of Lalo talking over the footage of the Superlab, it makes me more confident in this potentially being an outcome. Still, like with the fate of Kim, we can't know for sure what will happen, and for all we know, Lalo may still be alive later into the Breaking Bad timeline. I don't think that would make sense because Gus would still be worried about the fallback of that, and he has plenty to deal with already in that Breaking Bad timeline. But still, anything is possible, and with all of these reactions and recent cryptic trailers, I'm looking forward to seeing what they will do with all of these remaining characters. But that was my video discussing all of the new details for Better Call Saul Season 6 Part 2. By the sounds of it, these final episodes are going to be the most tense this show has ever been, and much of the cast and crew are highlighting that it's unpredictable, yet fitting for what it's all been building towards. I personally think by the last episode, or final two, that we'll get to all of the Gene stuff we've been waiting to see unfold, meaning that the next few episodes will really wrap up this current timeline surrounding Jimmy's transformation into Saul Goodman. But the questions surrounding the fate of Kim and Lalo are still a mystery, and the showrunners have really done a great job of keeping that under wraps. I guess we'll start to see the final path of their arcs come episode 8, and the early reactions are really pointing towards that being the case, with a lot of dramatic turns apparently going down. But what do you think will happen in the final 6 episodes of Better Call Saul, and are you excited for episode 8 after these early reactions and new teasers? Let me know down below in the comment section. For videos on every upcoming episode of Better Call Saul Season 6, then subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Also, if you enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like rating and follow me on social media via the links in the description. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I've been Cortex, and as always, make some noise.